what was the biggest struggle at Minds Mesh? Was it selling to the universities, or was it staying focused, or what was it? Just the industry fit?
No, I mean, I think one of the things I've learned, I mean, it needed a lot more money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like a lot more money, and at the time, just like I wasn't as good of a developer then. I'm actually a very good developer now. Like I write a lot of code at Cloverhound.
Mm-hmm.
I got there because when you start outsourcing things, you have no control. And so I think one of the things that's interesting is like idea guy likes to come and be like, I have this great idea.
Idea guy. That is going to become one of the characters in my show, is Idea Guy.
Idea guy. Yeah, I can see Idea guy walking up to me now, and I'm like, you've never actually touched a keyboard before, have you? You're Idea guy. So Idea guy never has a developer. He's got a great idea, and he needs to raise money, and he's got to raise money to build this thing. And I'm just like, you can't just be Idea guy, you know, like especially if your thing is developing software.
Yes. I wrote a blog post about this, about having a technical co-founder, and so I've invested in Skipper, and I think you told me before this interview started that you saw the interview with Maggie. I interviewed Maggie, the founder of Skipper, and it's funny because she's not super technical, nor is her husband Seb. Both really smart consultants at IBM running technical projects.
But that's a difference. Like
that's what I mean. They weren't idea people. They were like, let's just go get this thing done. And
especially if they were like a product manager or somebody who's like a technical enough to run developers.
I think there's a three prongs. You have to have one of the three. Developer, ideally. I think everybody who's ever started a tech company will tell you, I wish I knew how to develop, or...
Yeah, but unfortunately, developers usually kind of weird.
Yeah, well, definitely I am, which my background was as a developer.
Super strange, for the record.
Yes, very strange. Cheers to that, brother. Number two would be some sort of product or project management, and number three would be a designer. And I think as long as you have one of those three, you have a chance of doing it. And if you don't have one of those three, you better get one of those three on your team. And Halligan taught me this. If you have a blind spot that you need to go after, you better make them a partner. Give them real equity. Make them earn it, but give them real equity, you know?
It's interesting that you mentioned designer, because I find in what I do, design has the most power in a sales cycle. So when I really...
Absolutely.
When I really, like, I've got a couple of good firms that I work with, old friends of mine, and when I really like want to get this project over the hump, I'll just be like, hey, I've got $4,000. I'm going to eat this cost.
Yeah.
I need you to go make something that looks amazing. And when you take those really high quality designs of what this thing could look like people usually just have sort of an idea or a vision, and then they see it, and they can't undo it then. There's no unseeing the magic.
So if